for this section.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome to the Table Topics Master Session. This was interesting for me because I was forced to challenge myself today. This is a typical example of my being very busy with meetings this morning, had to cancel, but then my schedule freed up and now I'm available and I'm glad to be here and retake my role. Right off the bat, I would like to ask Andrea if you wouldn't mind assisting me in evaluating the speakers. So, today is all about challenging yourself. And challenging yourself is what we do, isn't it, at Toastmasters? We do it every week. We challenge ourselves, and that's the reason why we're here. In fact, this morning was quite interesting because the meeting I was attending was about having a speaker that spoke to us about not directly challenging ourselves, but workplace wellness and how it's important to maintain our competencies and our skills. And if you're not happy where you are, you challenge yourself to move to a place where you are. So this morning, for me, was a typical example of challenging myself. In the room, there were about 70-some people, and I was forced to be in a position where it was fairly obvious that I was uncomfortable, and some people would say unpleasant, but having so many people in the room and my being away from the speaker, I knew that as soon as I said a word, everybody would want to suck me in, and the attention was going to go on me, and it was a challenge for me. But nonetheless, I did it. And I'm so glad I did it because I proved to myself that I could make my point about a specific topic, which I did. I encourage everybody today to challenge yourself by answering a few questions that I have. And because it was so last minute, sadly for you people, I don't have prepared questions. So I would like to ask Sandrine very straightforward questions, and they're not meant to be difficult questions. So they're all about challenging yourself. But Sandrine, I would like to ask you, what was the biggest challenge you faced growing up?
Okay. Thank you, Flo, for this urgent question. And I don't have my 2 minutes. So what was the biggest challenge I faced growing up? I think my biggest challenge was the fact that I was born, I would say, different. I had a mild albinism condition and very big eyes. So I used to have a lot different type of nicknames. So the most popular I recall was that I was named after a popular beer because kids used to say I always look drunk. And I had to build a barrier or a wall between how I felt and what other people think of me. And to force myself to be resilient and to fight against that urgent situations. And what I did growing up is like I kind of became not easy to untouchable. How do you say that? Not easy to approach or to like I build a wall between me and all any kind of nicknames or insult or everything. I was like indifferent. And because all the kids realized that they couldn't harm me saying all this type of stuff, they stopped because it had no effect or no impact on me. And this is how growing up I became, I would say, zen, easy to approach, And I think it helped me through my whole life, and even in different jobs that I've had, I'm not easily affected by things around me, and I'm easy to approach. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandrine. Another good point about challenging yourself is the fear of fear, and showing yourself really how you are, and what other people think about you. Sometimes we stop ourselves from doing something because of that very topic. Good point, Sandrine. I would like to ask now Lorena. What was one time you exceeded your own expectations? Give us an example of it.
Mr. Toastmaster Table Topics Master, I find it very OG that I didn't have my 2 minutes to prepare for this speech. But answering to your question, I would say
right now.
Right now, exactly. You're challenging yourself.
When I start a new job, sometimes at the beginning I feel a little bit shy, and until I get used to to my new coworkers, and I was always worried if will I get along with them or not, will they like me or not, and then I noticed that I generally get along with all my coworkers, and so far I didn't have any conflicts or issues, and I find that usually, like the teams, they usually receive me well, and I found that a little bit shocking for me. I didn't expect that, so I think this exceeded my expectations. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lorena. You're the proof of thinking on your feet, and you just proved it, that it's sometimes unpleasant and uncomfortable and Augean in a way, but we can always segue to something else and find a way to say something, and that's the whole point of Table Topics. One more question that I would like to ask would be to Fed. To Fed. Can you give us an example of when you found yourself thriving on something while other people struggled at something? That you were really good at something, but to your surprise, you ended up being really good at something.
Okay, thank you for this question. I will not cover everything. Yeah, so I found out myself that I was good a swimmer. In the beginning, I thought. So I did in the beginning of my training to swim. I thought myself I was trying to learn. I learned how to swim really late, like at 9 years old, and. So in the beginning, when I started, I started with really young kids, they were 5 years old, and I found myself so old for them. I was in the beginning of my teenager, and then after that, so in the beginning, yeah, I found myself okay, I'm too good for them. But once I realized, when I jumped the levels, now I was swimming with the other age, the same group of age, and I thought of myself, okay, I will not reach the same level because I had so many years to catch up. And then, but my first competition, I did three swim styles, and the three of them, I happened to win the first place for the three of them, but by saying that, I told myself, okay, I had it was all messed up, like all mixed up, because I started like swimming with young kids. I shouldn't have compared to them in the beginning, but then it helped me to go more like jump levels and catch up to others, and that's what encouraged me to continue. And that's how like I found myself like better than the others when I did the same group of age. But this could be dangerous when you think you're the best of like to everyone, because you still have to continue to persevere and continue to be the like to continue to keep this ranking, especially in competitions, and try to help others to like help themselves to achieve the same success as you.
On that note, I will end the table topic session. Thank you very much for your contributions today. Back to you, Hannah.
Thank you so much. It's a very interesting table topic section. Everybody use this audience.